Well, that was really quick. Good evening. Welcome to episode 248 of the Brewgooders, the beer, comics, assorted geekery. We're still working on that. I effectively quit drinking. I know everyone else. I know John doesn't drink, and Andrew doesn't drink as much. So, yeah. So we're playing around with our name and stuff. But and we'll explain that once that becomes an actual thing. But until then, I'm Jeff. To my in the center of the screen is former Kingdom FM's and Kingdom FM film reviewer and current Tops trading card SpongeBob Supremo, Mr. John. And on the far right, but as far as we're not a member of the far right, is Andrew. That was shit. That was the worst intro I've ever done. Sorry. Is everybody okay?
Same phrases every week. You should just have them written down. Most of the YouTubers I follow have got the same spiel.
Yeah. Oh no. I try. I'm just not very good.
It's just pre-record it one time.
Yeah.
Pre-record it on OBS, and then we'll just do that.
Yeah. For anyone that actually cares, like StreamYard has added all these new things, like media assets. So, like, you know, for example, we are going to try and structure our podcast a wee bit better than normal. And our first session is something that we like to call PLEBBY BANTER, which is effectively what we're doing right now. And media assets. So, like, you know, please welcome John.
I know what's going to happen now. We're going to do it anyway. Go on. Get over with. Go on.
Okay. And please welcome Andrew. Yeah. another
no working. I thought it was going to be booze.
And me, Jeff. That one goes on for fucking ages at the end there, eh? That gong just trails and trails. Right. How are you guys? What have you been up to? What's happening?
Busy drawing away, attending concerts.
Yeah. You have been. So, we've been kind of chatting a wee bit on our group chat, and also like videos have been shared and stuff. Your SpongeBob trading cards are doing fucking phenomenal. So you do obviously trading cards for Tops.
Yes, amongst others. Yeah.
Amongst others, yeah, of course.
Yeah, they're going. Not just mine, but others as well. They've been very popular. I think this is the first SpongeBob card set that's actually had sketch cards contained within. I might be wrong, but they've been very popular with the collectors. It's in a quality product as well. It's called SpongeBob Chrome. So the regular cards are nice and chrome as well. So SpongeBob cards are doing quite well. And also, most recently, a Disney set came out as well, Disney Chrome. The first few sets from Tops to create with sketch cards as well. And they're going pretty popular as well, with the collectors. Once again, not just mine, but others as well. Cards that have been pulled or on eBay are silly money, ranging from $500 to $2,500. So collectors are going nuts.
You were talking about that earlier. Who sets that price? Where does that price come from?
Basically, it would go depending on who the artists are. So, you know, there are top tier artists, and there's myself. I'm what's classed as a mid-tier artist. So the top tier, they get like, say, a black border card, and I'll get a silver border card, and there's a blue border card as well, which is in the different gradients of foil on a card, basically. And what they'll do is they'll look at the artist, and they'll basically see what their cards have sold for in the past, and then they'll work at a median in between. So really, it's just down to the individual seller and whatever card set that it is. So say, for instance, if you look at mine on eBay, it's weird. They range from $12.50 for a sketch card, way up to the one I mentioned earlier for $1,800. So it depends on what card and what set. It's the same with autographs as well. If you were to pull a Burt Reynolds Twilight Zone card or a Burt Reynolds X-Files card, the X-Files card is going to be worth more than the Twilight Zone card. The same if you pull a William Shatner Star Trek card, as opposed to William Shatner Twilight Zone card, the Star Trek card is going to be worth more.
Reynolds in the X-Files, was he?
But Reynolds was, he was in season 9, he played God, I believe.
I'd already stopped watching by then. Like,
Yeah, it's not a good episode.
I believe. So,
yeah, so it's one of those things. It's depending on what artist, what set, how rare, how many artists are on this set as well. Sometimes you'll get between, on a Star Wars set, you can have 150 artists. Other sets I've worked on, there's 15 artists. So it depends on where the card is.
It's mad. It's not a world I know loads about. I always kind of wonder that, like, that just in general and in sort of all fandom, I suppose, like, who sets these prices for anything, like, you know, like
it's what the market will bear. I think if something starts selling at a certain price, then
explain capitalism to me.
It's like comics now as well. We're back to the multiple variant covers. 1 in 25, 1 in 100, 1 in 1,000. DC are doing these blind bags now, where you can pull a foil variant and it's 1 in 1,000 cover. So it's whoever puts the value on that, and that's what it's.
Depends on the artist. If somebody dies, or if a character becomes very, very famous, or gets some, rumor is they're getting in a movie or something like that. I think Kristen Ritter's just announced that she's coming back to portray Jessica Jones. So the Jessica Jones comics will take a wee bump because there's going to be a TV or card will be in one of the movies. An autograph card will go up.
Her autograph card will go up as well, depending on what set she's done for you. So yeah. So in the past, you might be able to buy her Veronica Mars card for a tenner, which I did. And there could be even more now, 50, 60, 70. Once again,
I never gave up on Veronica Mars. I do remember her being in Veronica Mars. I think her boyfriend got killed in season 2, possibly.
Someone died, yes.
Someone died.
Spoilers if you haven't seen it. 20-year-old show, spoilers. Yeah, they're all on Prime now. Actually, the first 3 seasons, the movie, and then the 4th season, which they classed as the first season again. They did a Doctor Who. It was good.
It's good. You can give it up after the first 3 seasons. The movie's alright. The reboot. It was a wee bit hard, but then the first season was great, and the first 3 seasons are brilliant. I'm a self-confessed Veronica Mars.
Never seen Veronica Mars.
Marshmallows. Older fans. Marshmallows.
Yeah. Marshmallows. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. What's your week look like, Andrew? What have you been up to?
It's been alright. I think I'm just working away. I went out with some friends at the weekend to watch football. Scotland continued to stagger me. That was a lot of fun. But yeah, apart from that, I've not really done a lot. Just work. I think. I've not watched anything. I was watching a show called Countdown with Jensen Ackles, and it was decent. But I've stopped watching it with a few episodes left because I follow Jensen on social media, and it's been cancelled. 1 season.
I'd missed the last couple of episodes, and I thought, I'll binge the last 3. Binged the last 3 and went, ends on a cliffhanger, and the next day I read, they've cancelled it.
Yeah. I managed to end it after 10, I think. When the sort of first arc finishes.
The first arc,
And I didn't get far into the second story arc, so I'm just going to get this unless somebody else picks it up. Amazon's getting really, really bad for that. That's 2 shows this year. Butterflies, which was Daniel Deacon's new show.
Yes, Going on
also ended on a. Was it Daniel Deacon from Lost? Am I getting that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also ended on a cliffhanger. Also cancelled after 1 season. It makes you wonder why you watch shows for season 1 on Netflix or Amazon. I stopped doing that a few years ago. I would always say I'm waiting until there's at least 3 seasons because shows just didn't get a chance to find their feet anymore.
I know.
Find an audience. If you look at
that's why I appreciate. I appreciate Netflix, so they'll actually put up another season is coming, so you can go, okay, well, I can't watch it. That's fine then. Okay, they might cancel on that season, but at least there's another season coming. Yeah, so
I think I look at all the shows that were, pretty much failures in their first season. That had they been cancelled, you would have got it. Things like Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, Sons of Anarchy. These things didn't find an audience in their first season, and became great shows, and now they just didn't get a chance.
Loads of shows don't like they don't peak until like their second or third season. You know what I mean? How many times have you heard that same conversation where somebody's like, stick with it because it gets amazing in season 2, and then you're like, well,
yeah,
and it's like,
yes,
Anarchy is always my go-to. Sons of Anarchy spent the first season just establishing characters and backstory and things like this, and then once it got into the run of the story, it was just phenomenal.
Well, my one was Fear of the Walking Dead. Took 3 seasons to get good, and then it got really good. So that's one of those ones. Just stick with it, But yeah, shows get cancelled too quickly now.
Yeah, far too quickly.
I was looking for the next big thing.
Yeah. My Geek Week has been. I'm finally caught up with like. I've got a tendency to be like well behind everyone else. I'm finally up to date with fucking Stranger Things.
Okay, just before the next one starts.
I know. Sorry,
3 years or something like that since the last one came out.
Yeah, well, it's fine. Now I've got like 2 months to wait while everyone else has had 3 years. So it's
not even that. It's next month.
Yeah,
November 27th for the part. Yeah,
but it's really good. Did not think, despite we had this conversation. We've had this conversation or conversations about the Kate Bush Running Up the Hill song at like Thought Bubble and stuff, because thanks to we had a really interesting conversation in Harrogate a couple of years ago where it was like I'd found a newspaper article or a website article where it was like every song, the most downloaded songs, but ordered by year of its release. Does that make sense? It's really hard because obviously I find it really tricky to explain it, but basically like of all the songs released in 1968, what one's the most popular one on Spotify? And we had a very drunken evening where I think I started in 1964 and worked my through every year, and I had Andrew and I had Colin and Dave Crano was there and stuff, and you guys just we basically sung every year. It was really interesting, but because of streaming, the way and how we consume music now, it's really fascinating. So, like for example, thanks to things like Glee, the most downloaded song of 1980 is "Don't Stop Believing" by Journey, despite the fact that didn't really chart when it came out.
Yeah,
and it's quite interesting discussions. So obviously, the most downloaded song of its year that it was downloaded is "Running Up the Hill," and that's purely, obviously, probably solely thanks to, massively to Stranger Things. Didn't find that scene as impactful as I thought it was going to be. Very cool. Like I'll absolutely love Kate Bush, but I was just like, oh, and then the same with the Master of Puppets scene. Very, very fucking cool, but I still think the best use of a song in Stranger Things was still that never-ending story scene from.
Yes.
It
was good. Yeah, it was good. It was unexpected. Yeah,
it was unexpected. But just like I was speaking to my son Sean about it because he's seen all of Stranger Things well before I have. Like everyone else, he watched it in its sort of normal release schedule, and he stands by the fact that season 3 is the best season of Stranger Things. I like to agree. That's the one with the mall and the communist space.
Season 2 is cracking
I think season 1, because they didn't really know what was going to happen, so I didn't have to wrap up and things like this. And I know it didn't have, Max and that, but I think for me, season 1 still was the best season. But I mean, it's been consistently very.
And go back to that point we were making about TV programs getting time to like warm up and stuff. Stranger Things didn't need it. It was just great. It has been great since it came out. I mean,
there is a. It's a pretty well-known fact that the people who yearn most for retro stuff are men who are currently in their 50s who grew up in the 70s and 80s. Like
Mhm.
we're the guys who really want to be back in the 80s, and that's why
Mhm.
best picture stuff comes from there. You know, people who grew
Yeah.
up in the 60s are 70 now. They're not going to watch that. Whereas people who grew up like me and John, who grew up on you know, the X Files and you know,
Yeah.
Star Trek on BBC One on a Monday night, things like that. You know, we were the ideal for
Definitely.
Yeah, no, cool. But no, thoroughly, I totally agree. And yeah, thoroughly enjoyed it. Now up to date with Stranger Things. Very much looking forward
Do you know?
to.
Do you know it's a great? It's got to say an
What's
ice
that?
cream there. That's not what it's called. What's it called when it's a Easter egg? The sword that Hopper uses at the end
Yes.
is the sword of Conan from Conan the Barbarian, Arnold Schwarzenegger's sword.
Ah, did not
Don't know how
clock
it,
that. It was just a
but,
sword that was lying on the ground from earlier in the
yeah,
season.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. I didn't clock that. That's fucking yeah. That scene was really cool though. I did thoroughly enjoy that. Aye, no, it was really good. Took me far too long to realise that the doctor, the nice doctor that's sort of looking out for Elle,
Yeah.
is the arsehole from Aliens.
Paul Reiser, yeah.
Yeah, took me far too long to realise it was Burke from Aliens. I feel
Yeah.
really bad about that.
Or if you're a fan from My Two Dads, he was Michael.
He was
My Two
one of the
Dads.
two dads.
One of 50% of the dads in that show.
He was 50%
Ratio.
of the dads.
He was.
In that
Yeah,
show.
just
He
can't
was
get
the one
over
without
what
the beard.
just can't
He
get
was
over what
the
Justin
cool
was.
one. He was the one in this. He was the one in the suit, wasn't
He was the the snooty one.
he?
Yeah.
The straight-laced one, the serious one.
He's one of it's funny what you're saying about like people that grew up in the 80s and stuff like that. And I'll like Chrissy's waiting for us, so I'll bring her on just now. But I do like I was listening to a podcast about Ghostbusters recently, and there's apparently this thing, and the guy I always forget his name. I'm really sorry. The guy that plays Burke from Stranger Things. There's this apparently like
Paul
pop
Reiser,
culture
yeah.
set of like antagonists from the 70s and 80s and like early 90s movies who still get a fucking hard time walking in the street. And he still gets like folk shouting at him because of like the fact that he locked Ripley and Newt in that room to try and get them like implanted. And also the guy that plays Walter Peck in Ghostbusters still has has folk shouting him in the street. Apparently, like folk will call him Dickless in the street. just
But yeah,
because
he played douchebags like multiple films in a row.
totally.
So you know, Die Hard as well, and what was the Real Genius with Val Kilmer? He played like he cornered the market in 80s douchebags. Yeah.
Well, I listened to a podcast called the Confused Breakfast, and they do a thing called every movie that they talk about a different movie every week, but they have a punchable face, and he holds the record for most punchable faces in movies. It's just basically who's the dick of the movie and he holds the record just because he's been the dick in like 4 of the movies that they've reviewed.
People find their niche. They're going to play the bad guy.
Poor guy though, to be typecast so is pretty real. Yeah. Awesome, guys. Right, well, we bring Chrissy on. Cool. I had played banter penciled in for 15 minutes, so I think we nailed that. Well done. Folk quite like it when we talk shite. Right, so our guest this week is we've had Chrissy on the show before. Unfortunately, due to Facebook not being very kind to us, has been lost in the ether. So I'm really thankful that she's come to agree to come back on. So tonight we're really excited to be joined by Chrissy Wiseman of Emerald Angel Comics, fresh from her appearance at Chronic Con, which I'm looking forward to talking to her about. She's a multimedia and comic book artist, specializing in rapid viz, digital art, traditional mediums, 3D modeling, web design, game design, photography, and more. And she's been working alongside writer and director Vincent Pereira. Did I get that right?
Oh, close enough.
On a comic book adaptation of the 1997 movie A Better Place. And the comic has a foreword by Kevin Smith, who executive produced the movie. So we're going to talk to Chrissy all about that, and then Chrissy's going to join us for this week's Top 5 Go, which is about Kevin Smith films. So, without further ado, I do. Hold on, let me get my... Please welcome Chrissy Wiseman.
Hi.
Hey.
Hello, Chrissy.
How you guys doing?
Oh, good.
Doing good. How are you? Yeah.
Doing all
How
right.
was the school run? Was the school run eventful? Was the school run okay?
It was good. It was good. Then my kids came out right away, so I was able to beat the traffic.
Oh, awesome. Excellent.
Usually
So,
they
Chrissy,
Hmm?
how was your weekend, Chrissy? You were at Pernicon.
The actual event was really fun. It was a lot of fun hanging out with Vincent Pereira.
Yeah, there we go.
So I mean, and the event was really cool. It was really great seeing all the different actors from the films there, especially since it was the 30th anniversary of Mallrats. They had a 30th anniversary photo op, which sadly did not include Vincent, even though he was in the film because his scene was a deleted scene. I believe that's probably why they decided not to include him, although they should have. Because when I did the photo op, I had him in my photo, so I was the only one at Chronicon to get a full completed photo op of every attending actor.
I was so jealous when I saw that picture. I couldn't believe it. I thought, oh my God. That was like heaven for me. Yeah, it was awesome.
So it was a lot of fun. It was pretty cool. I think that nothing was difficult at all about the entire trip except for on my way home when my car decided to break down on me.
Shit when that happens after oh my God.
I'm just glad that it didn't happen on the way there
Yeah.
or while I was doing the weekend events, because that would have been really difficult to deal with.
Oh, totally.
So, but Chrissy, what's the name of your car?
We call it the Baroness.
Yeah, obviously I get the G.I. Joe reference, but it wasn't until actually I saw a picture of it I thought, oh my God, Chrissy's car has the Cobra logo on the front, and it's the same color blue as the Baroness's costume from the G.I. Joe cartoons.
That's why I did that. I also have the logos on the door. I have the logos on the door as well, and then across the top of the windshield it says the Baroness, and it has two Cobra logos looking out this way. Those Cobra logos that are looking to the side are actually originally from what is it? It's one of the water vehicles, and they go along the side of the boat, but I cut the ends of them.
Yeah.
I designed the decals myself on my computer. I printed them out on multiple sheets of paper, connected them all together, and I hand cut those vinyl stickers myself and put them on my car.
So what did they
awesome.
obviously you had to get a mechanic to come out and help fix the car. What did he think about all this G.I. Joe iconography stuck to the side of a Fiat Panda?
He actually really loved it. He was in his late 60s. I think he said he was 68. And he said he grew up, he loved watching this stuff when he was younger. He liked it. He thought it was really cool.
Did he give you like
awesome.
once he'd fixed the car, did he give you like had you done something silly to cause the car to break, and he gave you a lecture like the end of an actual episode of G.I. Joe?
No.
You see that?
No.
You see that? Always carry a spare tire. Knowing is half the battle.
He was actually really surprised, because as a woman, most men get surprised when a woman knows anything about cars.
Okay.
So my vehicle's electrical system went out on me while I was on the highway, and I saw like the radio shut off and the lights were going off and the gauges were doing this when they should just, to show the speed, they start going like this. And I was like, oh no, the entire electrical system's about to go out. And if it goes out while I'm on the highway, the car will stop. And I do not want to get plowed by vehicles from behind. So I limped off the highway and I put my GPS the nearest AutoZone, and I tried to get the car as close as I could to AutoZone. It stopped completely a mile away. So I walked the mile. I got a battery. They gave me a ride back, and I installed the battery myself. Now, I didn't have a toolkit that I could access, because once the electrical system goes out, you can't unlock the doors. So the only door that was open was the driver door. So I popped the hood and I used a little adjustable wrench, because I didn't know how big the hex bolts were, that the hex nuts were that hold the connectors onto the battery. So I get this little adjustable wrench, and I get WD-40 just in case they're frozen on there to get them off. I didn't need the WD-40, but the guy was like, do you need help putting that in? And I laughed and I said, no, I've worked on cars before. I pop the hood, I get it off with this little adjustable wrench, which they thought was absolutely hilarious. I put the new battery in, I then turn the car on. It comes on just fine with the new battery. And I drove it to the AutoZone because I wanted them to test the alternator as well as the dead battery, because I wanted to make sure that it wasn't the alternator that was causing the problem, because when your battery drains and won't charge, it's usually an alternator. It could also be a starter if there's a short. So I get there and they test the battery and they tell me it was a bad battery. And I was like, okay, that's good, because the alternator is going to cost a lot of money. And then they test the current battery, because the machine has to do battery first, then alternator. And then they tested the alternator and they said the alternator's fine. And my gut said the alternator's not fine. And if I go driving right now, I will probably die on the highway. So I wait about 15, 20 minutes just to make sure. I go to start the car and it will not start, which means that that new battery that I just bought has now been drained by whatever electrical issue this is. So they're like, no, there's no way. You must have not put the connectors back on the battery right. Again, I laugh at them. So the guy comes out. He's messing with the connectors to make sure that it's on properly. And he's, like, what? He goes to start it and it won't start. So he goes and he gets their fully charged portable jumper pack, which is, how you connect two cars to jump a battery. They also have a pack.
Yeah.
It was fully charged. He brought it out. He hooked it to the battery, tried to start it. It made a little noise like it was going to start, and then it was silent again. So he was so perplexed. He got two other guys from the store to come out, and they're all standing around my car, scratching their heads, going, huh, what? And then the next thing you know, one of them goes, oh my God, whatever's going on, it drained the jumper pack. It's completely dead. And I was like, oh no, because a short of that magnitude could easily start a fire. So they get a mechanic to come out. So he deduces that it is the starter, because he unhooks the alternator and he can see a spark, an arc, whenever you touch the positive connector to the battery, which he said he believes that there's a short in the starter. So he gets his tow truck to come out. They put the vehicle on the tow truck and they take it. I'm stranded for the night. I have to stay at a local hotel. So he gets up at 2 a.m. to work on my vehicle because he wants me to be back on the road. He gets the starter replaced at 4 a.m. He calls me about 8 o'clock in the morning and tells me that he got the starter replaced, but now the alternator is dead because now it will no longer charge the battery. So now he has to replace the alternator too, because the starter short ended up destroying the alternator as well. So I had to replace an alternator, a starter, and a battery on this trip.
That would have killed into any profit you made on the trip, I would imagine.
No, because that goes to the household funds, because any car maintenance is not a business expense. That is because I rely on that car not just for business, but for the family as well. So we consider that a family. Like if I had to replace the tires or something or get the oil changed, that's a family expense. So, and my husband, he's working some extra hours to make up for it. And plus the man gave us a really good deal. I mean, it was only $734 when that kind of repair was going to probably be over $1,000. So
he got up in the middle of the night and working all night.
He didn't charge me a lot on labor. He only charged me mostly the cost of materials. So I lucked out.
So that's all the time we've got for this week's episode of the Brewgooders.
Yeah, that was the Brewgooders Beer, Comics and Car Maintenance Podcast. Thank you. Good night. No, that was.
We do spend out. Me and Andrew had. I said me and Andrew. I'm pulling Andrew into my car's troubles. We had a tire incident on the way back from a convention. It was pretty rubbish. Yeah, there's nothing worse than there isn't anything worse than these issues happening at all, but especially when you're they definitely put a bit of a damper. Well, I found they put a bit of a damper on our weekend. I did.
It's a 4.5 hour journey. It was back from.
Yeah, 4.5. Could almost see Andrew's house across the river.
We were a quarter of a mile when just over the bridge, the foot bridge, when it blew.
Yeah, it was a bit brutal.
How you had a spare tire. I said that these days cars tend to have just these stupid kits for reinflating. If your car blows, completely, so that it's basically just you're running on a rim.
It wasn't much fun. It wasn't much fun, was it? Yes. Were you? Did you have a table at the con?
Yes, I shared a table with Vincent Pereira.
And how was your work received? What was the vibe It's not a con I'm aware of. So
Well, it's Chronicon 2. It was Kevin Smith's second convention. Last year was Chronicon 1. Vincent didn't get to attend last year, but I made sure that he was going to be at this one. And he had a blast too. It was really fun seeing how just happy this made him. And it was a great weekend. It was great company. Andrew Thomas was there. Scott Wojcik was there, who I've also worked with on other projects. And it was really fun seeing them. It was the first time that I ever got to meet Andrew. So I was really excited about that.
Yeah, Andrew, for a bit of background, was in the Disgruntled Projects team that we were both a member of, which is kind of disbanded somewhat. But Andrew's gone on to be pretty much the letterer for all Kevin Smith's comics. He does alternate covers as well. Very, 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 very popular guy, and all-round nice Canadian from what I hear.
Yes.
Yeah.
He
So, Chrissy,
supportive of my art and career, so it's
yes,
been great.
yes. So let's talk comics, Chrissy. So the Better Place comic adaptation. This movie was made in 1997, written and directed by Vincent Pereira. So a little bit of background on Vincent. He is sort of the View Askew historian. So if you've
Yes.
ever listened to any of the Kevin Smith podcasts or any of the behind the scenes of the View Askew, he was pretty much the spark plug that lit behind Kevin Smith. He took Kevin Smith to see the film Slacker, which Kevin thought, well, if that's a film, I can make a film as well. So that was down to Vincent, and he's basically kind of behind the scenes on a lot of the commentaries. I'm a fan. He knows I'm a fan. I told him this. In fact, when I was an extra on shooting Clerks, I was an extra in the scene with the guy that played Vincent, which I told Vincent as well. So he's quite interested in that. So he wrote and directed his own film, which Kevin and Scott Mosier executive produced in 1997, which also features a small part with Jason Lee in it as well.
Yes.
But come almost nearly 30 years later, there's a comic book adaptation, which I'm interested to know how that came about.
Well, I'm a completionist, so I wanted to see all the View Askew related movies, and The Better Place was the one that could not be found anywhere. I was able to find poor quality copies of things like Drawing Flies, but I could not find A Better Place no matter where I looked. It was not available streaming anywhere. You couldn't buy it on DVD that I could find anywhere, at least not affordable, because it had been out of print for quite a while. So people were all like, oh, you got to pay this much money. So I asked Vincent, I was like, do you know where I can stream your movie? So he sent me a copy to watch. And this is the original cut, of course. And I watched it, and it made me think about the high school years that I had, middle school and high school, where, I had been in fights and stuff. One particular one, there was a girl who, she knocked me clean out. I didn't realize she was going to hit me. She stepped out of the crowd and just decked me, and I had a glass jaw, so I was out immediately. But she was really tiny, so the next year she was bragging to everyone that she beat my ass, and everyone looked at her and they looked at me because I'm really, really tall, and they're like, there's no way. So she kept trying to instigate another fight with me. I said something to piss her off, so she comes windmilling at me. So I go to block, and she's short, and she just runs directly into my elbow and gives herself a bloody nose, which I felt really bad, but I was like, I didn't even get to throw a punch. That's kind of not fair. But she kept telling everybody that I lost that fight afterwards, and I was like, I'm not the one who ended up with a bloody face, and you're saying I lost the fight. Anyway, but
did you do that thing where you said there, like, if you feel like you need to have won that fight, that's totally fine. If you need to tell yourself that's you just play that like.
I put my arms up to block, and she just ran right into my elbow, and I just stood there like, what? Because there's blood everywhere, and I was like, I didn't even throw a punch. She did that to herself.
I was so fast there, I took you out without even moving.
So yeah, I used to be bullied in high school, so I kind of connected with the story. And I was talking to Vincent because I seen he hadn't done any projects in a while, and I was like, how do you feel about just turning your movie into a comic? And he was interested. But he was, kind of a little reluctant because he didn't know me very well. So I drew a picture of one of the characters saying a line in the movie. Now, in the movie, you do not see this character say this line. You hear him say it from off screen, and you see the reaction of the character that he says it to. He had actually shot it the way that I drew it, which was strange because I draw it of him saying this line. I send him the image, and he goes, "How did you know that I shot it that way? Because it's not in the cut. We're cleaning it up and we're going to be adding it to the Blu-ray release. We're going to re-add that scene in. How do you get it? You get it." And I was like, okay. I was like, I just felt like if that was shot of him saying it, that he would be looking over his shoulder, all disgusted as he said it. And he absolutely loved that I got it. And so I did a treatment where I designed all the characters. I redesigned them for comic book format. Because for likeness rights, of course, you don't want to copy the actor.
Yeah.
Character, more distinct looks that really, really go well on a comic book page or even an animated series if you ever made a cartoon out of it. So I redesigned all the characters, and he absolutely loved the lineup, and he's like, let's do it. So that's how that started.
That's awesome, yeah. As a kid in the 70s and 80s, I grew up with the comic book adaptation, which always featured sort of scenes that weren't in the final movies, because obviously they're working from the original script. So when I first read that you were going to be doing this, I thought, oh, that's going to be quite interesting. And then obviously this was on the back of Vincent re-releasing a director's cut, as it were, of the movie onto Blu-ray.
Yes.
Which if Vincent sees this, I'm still waiting on my copy, but I know it's on the way. So it's very well timed, and it seems to be, from what I've read, quite popular. People are really wanting to get their hands on some copies. I know you did a small ash can version,
Yes.
which is limited edition, which will be featuring the sort of different artwork that's from the final version as well. So that's a nice little extra for somebody. So
yeah, there were some dialogue changes that he wanted from the version that I had. I'd just done the first 4 pages, and I was like, let's release an ash can, see how people like it. And it's black and white, while the new comic is completely color. So it's only 4 pages. And then he was like, well, let's change this dialogue here and then flip these panels so that this part is at the top and this part is at the bottom. So this is the little itty bitty ash can, as you can see. It's in black and white.
Yeah.
And again, this panel set here is now swapped to this position, and these are here. So that, because he thought that it flowed better with the narrative of the story that way.
Yeah.
And he was right. So once we had it like that, I was like, that's really good. And this is a signed copy that I have for both of us of the full completed first issue. So I'm actually
that cover really pops. The colors on that are absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you.
When I first saw that cover, I just thought, wow, okay, that's pretty special. So how long is the issue itself? Is it 20 pages?
Or is it 20? It's a 28-page book, but there's 4 pages for the intro from Kevin Smith out of that 28, and then there's an ad for the second issue, a letter from Vincent, and there's like a lineup of the characters. So I think 21 pages of comics. I have to count.
Okay.
How did it come about that Kevin ended up doing the intro for it? That's quite imagine for like your Kevin Smith bystanders such as myself, like where you maybe that he's the like I know you through comics and through being on the podcast, but like I think most people the recognizable name would be, and even I was looking at your stuff from ChronicCon where you had like intro by Kevin Smith on the he's obviously he's the recognizable name, isn't he? How did that come about?
Since him and Vincent are actually friends, if you read the intro in the book, it's actually about their friendship and how they bonded over cinema and became film fans turned film directors. It's really sweet because Vincent just wanted a small intro for his book, so he asked Kevin if he would write one, and Kevin said he would, and I was like, I was like, that'd be really cool if he actually does it in time, but I really wanted to get it done for Chronicon. Well, he got it done in July, and then Vincent sent it to me, and I was like, 4 pages, wow, that's a lot. And then I read it, and I almost cried because it was so sweet. It talked about how they met and how Vincent's influence on Kevin to even make films in the first place. And
Yeah.
Kevin actually credits Vincent with the reason why Clerks even exists in the first place. And it's absolutely amazing to see how a friendship can just blossom into something that so many people around the world love, like all of Kevin's movies. And so it was something that Vincent asked for, and we included it in the book because it's just so beautiful and touching. I could not include it, you know.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I was last night myself. I was looking for something to watch for the last sort of half hour bit of downtime, and I popped on the old the standby Mallrats copy that came on, and it actually says in the the special features that Vincent was heavily behind to getting this Mallrats package together. And if you look at the Mallrats or DVD stroke Blu-ray now, all the special features, that's pretty much the standard now for a Kevin Smith DVD release or Blu-ray release. You get your commentaries and you get your makings of and all that kind of stuff. And that blueprint, I feel, started with the Mallrats DVD that came out back in 1990 odd, which actually has Vincent on the commentary. And I got a video from Vincent on Cameo asking where the entire video of that commentary is, because they released little clips, video snippets of the commentary. Back when you had to toggle a special button, and a wee Easter egg came up, and it was the snippets of the video, and I was like, "Where's all that video? I'd like to see that," because Jason Lee does an impersonation that we only hear off camera of a certain member of the cast, and I love to see that. But yeah, so I think it's damn cool that you guys have got together to put this comic together. And I know you do a fantastic job. Obviously, I've been hawking comics of covers Legends of Memorania around Scotland for the past wee while for you as well. So awesome.
Absolutely. Amazing. So, issue, obviously, this is issue 1. What's your sort of release schedule like for the next couple?
Well, I would like to get issue 2 finished for March.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try to focus on getting that, and I'm working on issue 2 of Legends of Memorania, The Adventures of Chibi Chrissy. So I'm working on those 2 books in tandem right now.
Wow. I can't even get 1 done, and you've got 2 on the go. That's crazy.
Nice. Awesome. So you guys all, like, I have decided that for the purposes of you guys and being part of a big fandom, that I'm going to officiate this week's top 5 go rather than be an active participant. But we asked you beforehand. You're the first guest that we've done this with, Chrissy. So thank you for taking part. But is everyone quite happy if we move on to our top 5 go?
Yeah.
Sure.
So,
yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
Awesome. So this week's topic, is that right? Best Kevin Smith films. Is that right?
Can we go best?
Yes. What we think are our best Kevin Smith films. Yeah.
Okay. So anyone that hasn't seen the top 5.
Sorry. Projects. My apologies.
Projects. Okay. Right. Let me
You
change
do,
that.
because I might have an unusual.
Oh, like if we were doing projects, I probably
much.
could have got involved because he did episodes of The Flash and stuff, didn't he? So
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
so
Jason Mewes appeared in an episode as well.
Yeah, I picked films. That's fine. We'll go with whatever. But I got films. So.
Okay.
I could stop on a film easily, but I wanted to put something.
you just want to be
No, that's fine. You throw us a curveball. Throw us a curveball. So, Jeff, via Maths and Science, I believe it is.
Yeah, Maths and Science.
Maths and Science, which is the same thing.
Yeah, so we're going to count down from 5 to 1, any particular topic in top 5 go. If the 5th choice, number 5 gets a point, number 4 gets 2 points, number 3 gets 3 points, and so on until number 1. While you guys are chatting, I'll be doing Maths and Science. and we'll be able to, at the end of the discussion, be able to categorically prove what the definitive answer to the specific question is, which is what is Kevin Smith's best project. Yeah. So without further ado, let's hear.
Okay, well,
That's a really fun. I've said that a few times tonight. Without further ado is actually really fun to say. Okay. So number 5, 3, 2, 1.
I've got Dogma.
Dogma.
Masters of
Chrissy,
the
what have you got?
Universe Revolution.
Oh,
Clerks.
yeah. Clerks. Okay, yeah. Cool.
Clerks at number 5.
And you've got
Yeah.
that He-Man Revelations.
Oh, yeah.
I have just again. I talked earlier on about child of the 80s and things like this. I absolutely love He-Man. I absolutely loved what Kevin Smith did with the reboot of He-Man, Masters of the Universe. I think it's the best. You know, in a couple of years, which has had the League of Legends animation and things like this, I think it's just the best animated thing I've seen probably in the last 5 years, and that's up to and including Spider-Man, Spider-Verse movies and things like this. I loved it. I absolutely loved it, both parts. And I wish he would do more.
Yeah,
so that's why I said about projects, because it's all movies apart from this. But I wanted to include this just because I loved it.
Yeah, produced it.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Chrissy, Clerks. That's the black and white one.
Yes.
Yes.
I like the movie, but I don't. It is not as dynamic as his other films, I think. Yeah.
He's very much still learning his craft. I mean, it's his first, I think, was he still in film school? Or,
no, he decided to quit film school when he made that. He quit.
Yeah, he borrowed $40,000 in credit cards. His mum's like the milk lady, and he's
and he sold his comic book collection as well to fund that.
Yeah. Well, Flanagan plays like 5 parts in the film. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. I picked Dogma. I picked a Dogma. Dogma's it's good fun. It's watchable, but perhaps not as rewatchable as some of his other stuff. It's not as madcap or wacky, if you that kind of thing. It's a good film, good performances, good cast.
Dogma is like we talked about this, and obviously I've got my reasons for not participating. But Dogma is the one I really like. Dogma. If I were to probably we asked Bensky, when he came on a couple of months ago to give us his top 5 Steven Spielberg movies, and we couldn't. He didn't want to participate because he could only name 2 that he actually enjoyed. But I would probably say maybe that's kind of where I am for Kevin Smith. I'm surprised that you have Dogma so low. I don't know if it'll be the last time we see it in the top 5. I suspect not. But I am surprised it's quite low for you, John. But obviously, we'll see.
It's not even on my list.
I love Dogma as well, and I think it was the first one where he had a bit of money and he's got some real star power in it. It's not just his friends; it's not just Matt Smith and Ben Affleck and stuff like this. You've got Chris Rock, you've got Linda. I wouldn't say Linda Fiorentino, is it?
Fiorentino, yes.
Alan Rickman, who he speaks really highly of, and still kept in an absolute legend, and he's still. I think to this day, talks about how he doesn't believe that Alan Rickman would contact him whenever he was in town, and I actually was like, he couldn't believe this guy actually wanted to spend time with him and things like this. Dogma's a great movie, an absolute great movie.
Right. Will we go into our number 4s?
Number 4.
Can I just point this out before going any further? So the way Chrissy is framed in her screen, I keep thinking she's got her hand up, giving us the cool dude. Every time it catches my eye. Yeah, it's good, man.
I'm actually doing it off screen, but you just can't see it because I'm cut out. But if you move over a bit, I'm doing that. But unfortunately, the other hand is doing that. So it's oh my god!
You sometimes drop your right hand, and I forget that you're doing it now, and just it's amazing. I love it. Right, sorry. Okay, number 4. 3,
Number 4.
2, 1.
Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Clerks 2. Is that Clerks 2? Yeah.
Clerks 2.
Clerks 2.
Clerks 2. Clerks 2.
Clerks 2.
Clerks 2.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, 2 for Clerks 2. Nice.
You guys have to do the customary pretend to shake hands because you guys both picked the same topic at the same time.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay.
We did that last time, John, but you weren't here. But we're like, yeah, well, we picked the same one. It's like,
I was going to say, what the hell are you talking about? Okay. James and Bob Straight Back. It's so stupid. I love it. It's just ridiculous. It's like when you watch an episode of Scooby-Doo and you go, there's no way that would happen in real life. And then you think, oh, it's a cartoon about a bloody talking dog. So the same thing in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. You know, they've got bikes going through the air. It's just ridiculous. But it features tons of great cameos. You've got obviously the Good Will Hunting 2 hunting season skit with Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. Obviously, Ben Affleck playing 2 roles in the film, reprising his Chasing Amy role. But then it has one of the best lines in a movie ever, whereby, I don't know if you've seen the film, Jeff, but it's basically Jay and Silent Bob have to go to Hollywood to stop a film being made of their likenesses in a movie, Bluntman and Chronic. And playing Bluntman and Chronic in the movie are James Van Der Beek and Jason Biggs. Okay? So Jason Biggs at one point is getting taken away by a cop. He said, don't know you, I'm the pie fucker, I'm the pie fucker. And the cop says, and in prison, he'll be the pie. which, come on. Best line in the movie ever.
I don't know, I would have to say, for that movie, my favourite line, there's a scene sort of earlier on when we meet Ben Affleck's character, playing the character from Chasing Amy. And he's Jason Lee, I beg your pardon. Is it Jason? I can't question it. Whichever one it is he's talking to, but he's basically saying to him, but don't worry, nobody, like a Jay and Silent Bob movie, who would go and see that? And they all turn to the screen, they all jam the screen like this. So that they're looking at everybody who would have been in the cinema at the time. Just
breaking that fourth wall.
Oh, yeah.
Also want to point out at this point in the show, thank you, John. That is this week's, by mentioning James Van Der Beek, that is this week's Dawson's Creek reference. It's like...
Don't worry, I've got more.
So shout out to James Van Der Beek, who's not very well at the moment.
Yeah, he isn't very well.
Yes, shout out to James Van Der Beek. And my Dawson's Creek novel that I'm currently reading. That's a good one.
Hefty piece.
It contains several books. This is omnibus number 1. I'm currently reading Long Hot Summer. It's quite good. Anyway, let's get back on with the show.
Yep, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, you both picked Clerks 2.
Yeah.
Some of the snappiest lines. He took a lot of stuff from his live shows. There's a scene in it where he's berating a fan of Lord of the Rings, and it has to be seen. It's just hilarious. Clerks 2. I absolutely love it.
Who's the actress right there?
You went for that as well.
The video.
Sorry?
It's Rosario Dawson.
Rosario Dawson.
Okay.
Who was just in Scotland at the weekend there for...
She was in Edinburgh last week, wasn't she?
Comic-Con Scotland just at the weekend there, yeah. It was a mini Chronicon. They had 4 View Askew related guests. I did not go. I was going about. It's going to cost too much money. There was Rosario Dawson. There was Brandon Routh, who was in Zack and Miri Make a Porno. Chris Wood, who played He-Man in Masters of the Universe, who was also in Reboot and Clerks 3 for a second. And Shannon Elizabeth from Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back and Reboot. So there was 4. I could have went, but it was going to cost far too much scratch, so I did not go. Anyway, Chrissy, Clerks 2.
I love Shannon Elizabeth in 1999 to 2002.
I really like Clerks 2 a lot because it's probably one of the only films that Kevin has done where his characters actually end up in a nice relationship at the end of the movie, where they don't end having broken up, or it's one where he actually gives them a nice ending, because if you pay attention to his movies, he kind of beats up on his characters a little bit. They don't really get the happy ending, which, you know, that happy ending was yanked from that character in the beginning of Clerks 3.
Yes, I was going to say that.
Which I
That's
absolutely
away
hate.
from me.
I hate, and I don't know why Kevin just beats the shit out of his characters and his stuff like that so badly. You know, I'm like, he himself has the happy ending because he has a beautiful wife, and he has a daughter, and he has a great career, but yet these characters of his are a punching bag. And I liked Clerks too, because it ended with Dante and Becky being together, and I really, really loved that, because it was just so sweet. And I really don't like Clerks 3, because I hate that relationship was sadly I don't like Clerks 3 because of that. I love romantic stories and love stories, so I liked seeing them together. I thought it was a great couple, and it was just sad.
And it was Becky as well. The other woman that she sort of pulled Dante away from was Kevin Smith's beautiful wife, who played his girlfriend in Clerks 2, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I couldn't think more. I think Clerks 3 undone the happy ending, and then got even worse at the end for me. They couldn't even,
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
no spoilers.
Heartbreaking. No spoilers.
I just like that in general. I hate that. There's so many films where they undo. You know, like a sequel comes in order to like
unnecessarily, I think.
Yeah, unnecessarily undo what was established in the previous movie in order to then continue the story. And you're like, you know, this is bad for me personally. It's bad as killing off a character.
It is a Hollywood trope that I really, really fucking hate, because they started doing it in horror movies too, where the character that survived to the end, the final girl or guy in some cases, is killed off in the very beginning of the next movie. Now, I understand why they started that. I believe they started that because the girl who played, I think her character's name was Annie or something, in the first of the Friday the 13th films, they killed her off at the beginning because she didn't want to do the next film because she was being so badly stalked. I think that's the reason why she chose to do that. But it became a trope where every single horror movie, the next movie, those characters are killed off, and I fucking hate that.
No,
yeah.
Having finished Clerks 2, you felt about that. So
we spoke last year about, and you probably never have heard of this, it's a British TV show called The Detectivists, which for 3 seasons was absolute perfection. And they brought it back for a Christmas special, and in order to sort of thing it, they undid a lot of what they'd done in the last episode of the last season. You know, you had the happy ending, you had a cottage, they had all like that. Because, you know, watch it, John.
they did it Gavin and Stacey as well. It's maybe a trope of horror movies in Hollywood, but it's also maybe a trope of British easy watching sitcoms as well. Because Gavin and Stacey does it as well. Gavin and Stacey, I'm sure every season Gavin and Stacey, it's the same crisis. It's like, and then it goes away for 10 years and comes back, and it's the same thing again. And they're like, no, I thought we did this. Sorry, dude. Anyway, number 3 in the best Kevin Smith movies ever. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, my screen's going off.
Yeah, there's Dogma.
There's Dogma for me. Yeah, we've already.
Clerks 2 for me.
Chasing Amy.
Chasing Amy.
I think Chasing was the first Kevin Smith movie I saw, but didn't know it was a Kevin Smith movie. You know, I've seen the other 2, the Mallrats and Clerks after, but I didn't really make the connection that, you know, there's just that one scene where he's talking to Jay and Silent Bob in the cafeteria, in a canteen, or a cafe, or whatever you call it, a diner in America. And it niggled at my brain for about 3 years. I was like, those 2 guys, I've seen them somewhere before. And it was just when I sort of started rewatching the View Universe stuff that I sort of made that connection. That's where I know them from. Even Dogma, I think, was like, hold on.
Yeah, Chasing Amy was my first at the cinema. I saw that at the Cameo. That was my first on the big screen. But I'd seen Mallrats previously, and then I watched Clerks after.
I think my understanding of Kevin Smith's work is Chasing Amy is a bit of a gateway movie to his work for a lot of people. This seems to be the one that a lot of people stumble on and then go back. I don't know.
It can be, yeah. I think the main gateway one is Mallrats. That's
Yeah.
the main gateway.
Mallrats was
Kevin
my
Smith, like, yeah, mine as well. Yeah, that's the sort of the main gateway one because it got a big release on DVD. Well, sorry, DVD, VHS back in the day, but it got F all over here in the cinemas, and it died in the States in its first week. So but that seems to be the one that people
Okay.
sort of glom onto, yeah. So my memories was Clerks 2, so pretty much for the same reasons as the other guys. It's a good film. It's a feel-good film. Has a unnecessary dance number in the middle, but it's fun, so who cares?
I love that dance number.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say it's fun, but yeah, it doesn't belong there. But it's like it's the Scooby Doo effect. It's like that would never happen. The Mystery Machine would never do that. Hang on, it's a
Unlike the donkey sex scene, did that involve? Was that supposed to be there as well?
The donkey sex scene, yeah, that's interspecies erotica. Yeah, that's hilarious. And that guy is actually a documentarian. He makes like behind the scenes on Kevin Smith stuff, and he played the Kinky Kelly instead.
Yeah.
But I love Clerks too. It's Randall at his most.
He was the sexy stud.
Oh, sorry. Well, Kinky Kelly. Yeah. Sorry, my apologies.
Kelly
Yeah.
is the donkey. He's
That
like,
was it,
that's a girl. It's a boy donkey. Kelly can be a guy's name too. Hey.
Yeah. Hey, and then he does that big massive spit. It's pretty fun. But yeah, Clerks too. You got Randall at his most Randall. It's Randall to the extreme as Randall turned up to 11, Spinal Tap style. It's just so extreme.
I know a lot of loud people like that.
Yeah, I mean,
Lord of the Rings fans.
When we had a staff show at the cinema when I worked at Odeon back in the day, and one member of staff decided to do the I don't like to say the porch monkey for life on the back of his t-shirt, and decided to tape that on the back of his shirt. Now, Chrissy, that I never heard that slur before, and it's not something we use in the UK, so don't worry. But he put it on the back of his shirt, and nobody knew what it meant, so he was fine. But I told him, take that off. If
you were to do that here in the States, you would have been stoned so quick.
Yeah. So thankfully, we're not big racists across here.
We're different kind of racist.
We're different kind of racists. Yeah.
It's not a slur we use over okay. I always remember I've had friends in the past. I had a friend who during lockdown referred to, and I can't remember the situation, but she referred to one of her American. They were in like a Zoom call, and she mentioned an American lady said something cheeky, and it was one of my colleagues at work turned around and went, "Oh, you cheeky wee monkey," like,
oh, no.
and which is entirely innocent over here. Like my nickname for my youngest son is monkey, like it's just because he's like a cheeky wee monkey, and it's just
my daughter as well.
Yeah,
my daughter.
Really different connotations over here. It's horrible.
Yeah, my kid walks in the room. I'm like, "Hey, monkey, what's happening?"
Yeah.
So it's that's that divide,
Yeah.
But, so before we get ourselves in any more trouble online.
So thankfully, your work colleague didn't wear that T-shirt in the States.
No, definitely not.
Andrew, you had Dogma.
I had Dogma. Yeah, we've already talked about it.
It's great, man. It's
it's
the one I know.
A great film. Again, moments that make you laugh out loud. The first time I saw Buddy Jesus, George the amazing George Carlin is the Archbishop of Chicago introducing the Buddy Jesus. I've never laughed so much out loud in a cinema as I did in that moment. I fell off my seat almost. It's so funny.
Now, the church from that movie is actually in a town like a few hours from me called Pittsburgh. And I have been to it many times, but it is very dilapidated. They are letting it fall apart. It's condemned. And I went there to get some photos around the building because I want to make a 3D model of it. And it was after a big storm, so the storm had blown a bunch of stuff off the building. So I was able to pick up pieces of broken stained glass, pieces from the roof, little nails, wood timbers. So I actually made shadow boxes out of these pieces, and I actually made and gave one to Kevin.
Oh, brilliant.
Cool.
Who was editing, man? That's pretty smart.
That's cool.
It's lovely because it was a beautiful, like a Gothic architecture building, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
It's sad. They're just letting it fall apart. They're eventually going to rip it down, and I hate that because, to me, the building itself, it's a work of art, and I hate to see any good art get destroyed. So that just bums me out.
Save the clock tower, man.
They
Save
wouldn't
the
allow
clock
it here
tower.
with something like
Yeah,
that.
save the clock tower. Save the tower.
Usually, dilapidated churches in the UK get turned into pubs or concert venues.
Yeah, but they wouldn't allow it to
So-
get pulled down.
The building is so far dilapidated. There's no saving it at this point. They let it go too far.
Yeah.
That's usually the reason why they get turned into.
The
Oh,
pub-
yeah.
pub-
No, I don't think that they'd like to have a pub where somebody's drinking and all of a sudden a big chunk of roof falls on their head and kills them. I don't.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, fair dues. Just Weatherspoons are horrible. Yeah.
We have big storms here.
Okay, right then. Number two. Number two. So for 4 points to Phil. 3 to 1.
Mallrats.
Morads.
Jane Silent Bob Strike Back.
Whey.
Morads. What have you got? Is that the first Clerks?
That's first Clerks, yeah.
And Jane's Silent Bob Strike Back. Go. Who wants to go first?
I think Chrissy should go first.
All right. Jane Silent Bob Strikes Back. I didn't even tell you why my reason for picking Chasing Amy at 3.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
How did you know?
So how Chasing Amy?
Okay,
Uh,
go.
for me,
Chase Amy, go.
Okay, for Chasing Amy, it's I'm so into comics that it was one of the first comic centric movies that I've ever seen, and it's about a bunch of characters that are comic book artists, and I was like, I freaking love this movie. I just was able to relate to all the characters. For me, especially Alyssa Jones, because she's a female comic book artist, who probably has to do with getting harassed because she's a female comic book artist, and I've been through a lot as a female comic book artist, so I don't want to go into it. But it's a very good movie, and it's got characters that are completely relatable to me because that's the profession that I've chosen. That's the fandoms that I'm in. So, and Jane Silent Bob Strike Back is similar because again it falls into the comic book stuff, and it's very cartoony. It's like watching a Saturday morning cartoon on the big screen. I absolutely love it. I'm a huge fan of cartoons as well, so the shenanigans in that movie was just laugh out loud the entire time, and I can't say no to that one.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah.
Andrew,
Yeah.
Clerks.
Clerks.
Yeah, I'd say for both. I mean, both. I like all these things, but for both of these movies, Chasing Amy was, I think, the first time I seen Walt Flanagan and Brian Johnson coined "Tell Him, Steve Dave" in that movie, and then it became like a recurring theme on it as well. So, he started to spot the connections, I think, with Chasing Amy going forward. So, it's like Clerks. I just think it's marvelously tightly made. Found out after the fact that he was basically making it, editing it overnight, and then shooting, editing it and shooting it. Made it on a shoestring. Writing's really good. Story's really good. Yeah, loved it.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm glad they didn't use the original ending, though.
Sorry?
Have you seen the original ending?
Is this the loot somebody
cut off.
dies? Is it like Dante?
Dante gets shot by a robber. A robber comes
Yeah.
and shoots
Who's
Dante.
played by Cousin Johnny, by the way.
Cousin Johnny from Chasing Amy, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, he's not Cousin Johnny in Chasing Amy. His character is
No, yeah, he's Cohee London, yeah.
Joey London, that's it.
Quaylander, yeah.
Is Chinese finger
My understanding of the clip,
him and Michael Zapsik were at the table next to us at ConCon, and he was so sweet. I had a lot of fun talking to him throughout the convention.
Yeah,
Seems like a nice guy, yeah.
Always comes across as a really, really nice guy. I've watched TV programs around I've listened to probably 1,000 hours.
Yeah, I don't know if they named the character that he played in Clerks that shoots Dante. He's just Robert or something.
I think it's just a robber, yeah.
Yeah. But knowing Kevin, he's probably a cousin to all the other characters because that's what he does. He's got Gil Hicks, his cousin of Dante Hicks, and so cousin Johnny's playing some cousin to one of his other characters. Probably Cody London's the cousin that robs stores.
Probably, yeah. Mallrats for me. That's the first Kevin Smith film I ever saw. Been looking forward to it for a while. I saw adverts for it back in comics back in the day. It was the Magic Eye adverts, and I thought, what the hell is this? And then the next poster I saw was the Drew Struzan, who we sadly lost during the week there. R.I.P. Drew Struzan. Was the Drew Struzan poster, and I thought, right, okay, there's Stan Lee, and there's comics, right? Okay, I need to watch this film immediately. Where is it? And it didn't materialize across here because it bombed. And then one day I was in Global Video in Crocodile High Street, and there it was on the shelf, Mallrats. 'Twas mine and was watched 4 times that week. As soon as it became an ex-rental copy, it was bought and was watched more times. Then I bought the DVD copy, and I now own about 7 or 8 copies of that film. Just various different versions. Mallrats. I love it. It's so good. It's so stupid. It's got Jason Lee. Awesome. That's where I was introduced to Phantom's Ben Affleck. First met Jane Silent Bob. It's yeah. I love Mallrats. Love it.
I watched Mallrats at the start of the week
And hated it. Yeah.
I didn't hate it. Like, I was pleasantly surprised to see Claire Forlani. I really like her. She was
Yes.
I've seen in
Ethan Suplee, who was at the Chronicon, I think he went this week. Is in it. He's the big guy looking at the painting. And he looks like a bodybuilder now.
Yeah, Ethan Suplee.
Ethan Suplee, yeah.
Ethan Suplee, yeah, geez, yeah. Wow.
Yeah. He was the guy from Remember the Titans or something like that.
Oh yeah, he's the guy that just runs in and doesn't recognize that everyone else in the team's black, and he just kind of walks in.
Yeah.
How's it going, everybody? He's a high five and everything.
Yeah, great guy. I mean, now he looks absolutely ripped.
Yeah, he's a tank.
But the funny thing is, he's because Mallrats is set the day before Clerks.
Yeah.
He's obviously playing the character that was played by Scott Mosier in Clerks. So it's Willem Black, but it's kind of like the Willem Black of Two Worlds. Yeah, it's weird. He plays Snowball. Yeah, that's been the same character.
Scott Mosier in the first one's whipped in.
Yeah, but yeah, obviously Mosier's in Mallrats as Roddy, and Michael Rooker's assistant. So that was a weird bit of a change, but. Yeah, good fun. Love a bit more rats.
We were on the cruise. I went on the cruise skew, and Ethan Suplee was there, and he had a thing where he would walk with everybody in the morning. He would do like some little get in shape, get fit kind of exercise routine thing, which I didn't.
I just wanted
How was that though?
The Supremes, eh? Like
the cruise.
How was the cruise? I can't imagine being stuck on a boat for how long was it? 3 or 4 days?
It was they went to the Bahamas, they stayed for the day, and then they went back. So it wasn't like it wasn't bad. I loved it because it's like being in a big city, kind of almost. It's not like you're cramped on this tiny little boat. Like you're able to walk around. There's little shops, there's restaurants everywhere, and it was a lot of fun.
I've seen Speed 2. I don't fancy being on a boat. No, my luck, Willem Dafoe would come and try and blow it up. The slugs
He's always
attached
doing
to
that.
his body.
That was Willem Dafoe, wasn't it?
That was Willem Dafoe, yeah. Yes.
I've only
and
seen that
leeches
movie once. I didn't like it. I liked Speed, the first one, but not the second one.
Yeah. Let's
Speed
just-
2
let's make the sequel
is
to the most
ridiculous.
exciting movie about a bus that like fucking can't go under 50 miles an hour or will explode. Let's do that again. Okay, let's do it on a cruise ship. Wait a minute, what? Yeah, like,
Yeah, but you get to have the title though. Speed 2, Cruise Control. Well done. Well done, marketing people.
bro,
Well done.
bro.
They did the third one. Well, sort of. They did the episode of Father Ted.
Oh yeah,
But it was
Father
a milk
Ted.
float.
yeah.
A milk float, yes.
That was amazing.
Okay.
British sitcom, Chrissy. Father Ted, you need to watch it. They have a Speed 3 episode, and it's a
It's a milk float that goes at what, 4 miles an hour or something?
Yeah.
It's a horse with a bomb, and if your horse stops, you die.
it's so good.
Pretty
man.
much.
So good.
Just as fast,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
Have we done all
this has been a really funny one. Normally, when we do this, there's an emerging winner that starts to show up quite quickly when we do these. You know, like. But genuinely, I'm really excited. Like, from a purely maths and science perspective, I'm quite excited to see. Like, I actually don't know what a lot of these words mean, but the number aspect of this is quite exciting. So yeah,
Okay.
let's get our number ones. 3, 2, 1, go.
Chasing Amy.
Mallrats.
All right.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
so you both had Mallrats, yeah?
Yeah. That's one of
Okay, so basically everything I just said there about maths and like.
yeah, it's gone more.
Cheers, guys. Thanks. You fucked it almost immediately. Anyway.
Yep.
So Mallrats has got Claire. Is it because it's got Claire Forlani in it? Is that why you both picked it?
It's got Jason Lee in it, who I absolutely love. Like,
Yes.
My name is Errol is an absolute genius, and again, he can super please his brother.
My name is Earl, yeah. Yes.
He's outstanding. First time I saw this movie, I didn't even see this on DVD. This is a movie which every 6 or 8 months or so is on BBC Two at 11 o'clock at night on a Saturday night. And I think I came into it one night and it was just starting, and it's like, oh, I'm not starting to watch a movie at this point. But the opening credits is comics. You know, it's all the characters in comic covers and stuff like this. And I was like, ooh, colour me interest.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it's probably the first movie I've seen with Michael Rooker in it. He was brilliant. Just, yeah. First movie with Jason Lee, who I went to. Brilliant. I think he was great in Dogma as well. He was the devil.
Azrael, yeah.
Azrael in Dogma.
Yeah.
He steals the scene and everything.
My name is Earl.
Yeah.
My name is Earl.
The only time I've ever cosplayed is My Name is Earl. That's the only time I've ever dressed up for Halloween is My Name is Earl. I did the moustache and everything. I had the check shirt on. Of course, being a bit chunkier. People, who the hell are you meant to be? I made a little badge that said, "My name is Fat Earl." Yeah. And I made a little list. I actually wrote a list of like bad things that I'd done, and somebody took a picture, and there is a high res picture of me saying, and I'm like, oh my god, take that off the internet immediately.
Those are the things you'd actually done that was on it.
Some things I'd actually done, yes.
Yeah.
Murdered. I'd murdered some, yeah. I'd murdered a child. Yeah.
Mallrats for me, number one. I say Mallrats.
Yeah, same for me.
Yes.
Mallrats is number one, and it's that gratuitous Stan Lee cameo. I can't get enough of that man. I wish I could have get to meet him, but
Yeah. Love a bit of Stanley. Brody, I give it all up for just one more day. Yep, Stanley is awesome.
It's very young and unknown Ben Affleck as well. You know, it's the recurring jokes about wanting to try and make up to someone in an uncomfortable place.
Back of a Volkswagen.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. You know what? I love Mallrats. I just explained my love for Mallrats as my number 2 position, and it nearly supersedes and takes over Chasing Amy. But I don't know, Chasing Amy. I just really connected with it. because I am secretly a gay man like Jason Lee in the film. No, I was suitably intrigued by the fact that, and I know, Chris, you don't like sad endings, but I was watching it and I thought, oh, they're going to get back together at the end. And they didn't. Sorry, spoilers for a 30-year-old film. I just thought, okay, I'd never seen that before because I'm a big fan of rom-coms, you know, Sleepless in Seattle and While You Were Sleeping. Anything was sleeping in the title, really. And I just thought, that's an interesting way to end the movie. Okay. And it kind of sat with me for a while, and I thought about it. I was like, And obviously, it plays with your the kind of stereotypes. So obviously, big fan of Jason Lee from Mallrats, and then he's playing the same kind of wise ass character in this film, but it turns out not so much. He's that's interesting. I like that character. So yeah, it's it had a bit of depth to it. Kind of got that 90s kind of indie vibe, which I really dug as well. Kind of like Reality Bites and stuff like that. Yeah, it was.
If it would have had a happier ending for me, it would have ended up #1. But that kind of like.
Yeah, I mean, it's bizarrely it's one of my top 3 films of all time, and that is it's number 2. Number 3 for me is Empire Strikes Back, and number 1 is Jerry Maguire, which I flat love.
You just have a wee happy ending. You just have a wee happy ending.
I like me a bit. I like me a bit of TC. I like me a bit of the Cruise Meister and a bit of Renée Zellweger. So
I was watching Lego Batman last week. Are you guys ever seen the Lego Batman movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's that amazing bit where he's sitting watching Jerry Maguire in his like private cinema, just laughing at it because it's shit. It's my favorite bit, like when he's like in hysterics when Tom Cruise goes, "You complete me," and he's like, "Bah!"
I think it was Chasing Amy. It was so obviously kind of trying to do something a bit more seriously, and I think he regards that as the one that he sort of wrote more seriously. But I had moments, the moment when Hooper pulls out the gun.
Oh yeah.
when they're heckling him from the stage.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, when he's like, "What's a
Nubian?" Yeah,
what's a Nubian? Exactly. That's
he was like, "They're telling us we all wants to be white. Isn't that true?"
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just like, I love it.
It's a very funny film. Lots of laugh out loud moments, but then
Chasing Amy almost made my top 5. But I would have
a bit serious.
So,
Okay.
I mean, just squeaking in my top 5 was Jersey Girl of all things, which I flat love as well. So
honorable mentions. Yeah.
Honorable mention for Jersey Girl. Loved it before I became a dad, and then I watched it right after I became a dad, and I was like, oh, this hits me.
That was his movie about becoming a father of a young girl.
I mean,
he's where he was then.
Affleck is best.
like
You got George Carlin. George Carlin's been friggin' awesome in that film. George Carlin's so good. The wee girl, Raquel Castro, awesome. And Liv Tyler. That's where I fell in love with Liv Tyler. You know, she's so.
I saw that movie while I was pregnant.
Oh my word! Okay.
So that was hard. The scene where they lost her, and then he's crying to his baby in the little crib, and I was just like sobbing, and I kept worrying about my husband. Because I had so many health issues while I was pregnant, I was worried that was going to happen to my husband.
Oh, good Lord! Jesus.
Watching that movie just had me like with the tissues.
That's the equivalent of watching Titanic before going on a boat. You know, that's a bad movie to watch while you're pregnant. But yeah, it's a great film. I'd love to see the extended cut as well. I'd love to see the extended cut.
Jane Silent Bob Strike Back would have been my sort of honourable mention. One we just pushed out by, Chasing Amy. I think up until a certain point, I wasn't a fan of Post Red State. I think it has been very ever since then for me. So I'd not.
His horror output. I mean, Tusk is a hard watch.
Yeah.
If you've ever watched,
I'm sorry,
Tusk,
Oh.
it's cheesy. The special effects were old school cheesy. I thought it was going to be a hard watch, but I watched it and I'm laughing my ass off at it. I'm sorry. It's just because
Yeah,
I know
no,
how
it was,
special effects are made, so it just made it funny to me.
it was.
But
it
I
was
did
a hard
not
watch.
like
But you know,
Vincent. I did
I
not like
will. I
Vincent.
will watch. I will defend Yoga Hosers. Yoga Hosers is a good time.
That was funny too.
Yoga
I love
Hosers
that.
is ridiculous. That was the first film I really became aware of Ralph Garman. I listened to Hollywood Babble occasionally, but then Ralph came on.
Is
And
that,
did
that
his
the one with the
presentations.
nasty hot dog?
Yeah,
That Yoga Hosers, yeah.
the
I
the,
love-
the Bratses.
Yeah.
The Bratless hot dog. Bratwurst Nazis. The Bratses. Just stupid. How does he come up with this stuff? I love it.
He's high a lot, I think, these days. So that's possibly what's.
Right, just want to hear the like.
Yeah,
It's no
Go for it,
surprise, right? But mathematically speaking, the third best film of Kevin Smith's catalog is Clerks 2. Then his second best film is Chasing Amy. But through maths and science, I can categorically conclude for everyone that Mallrats is the best Kevin Smith film ever made.
Totally agree with that.
Bye, fucking landmine. I'm like right at the end there. But yeah,
Surprised
if you think
Clerks
we're
is in the top
get
three. I
in the
must admit,
comments.
I thought that would have been in, but
what film was that, Andrew? Sorry.
I thought Clerks would have been the top three rather than. I thought I genuinely
it's a
thought it
good-
would have been Clerks. All that.
Right.
It's a good film. It's a good film, but I enjoy others more.
I'm actually not surprised. I thought Dogma would be higher, but other than that, I figured Mallrats would be the one that won. Based on what I understand as a sort of on the outside looking in, I'm like, oh, yeah, that's the one everyone seems to be totally digging.
I think the reason why it's going to be different for different people depending on what they're into personally. And since all of us are really into comics, we're going to gravitate more towards the comic-centric episodes and movies.
I wonder if there's an age thing as well, and like where you are in life. So like, is like when you're approaching it like as a comic book fan, and you're like when you like at a certain stage in your life, it's probably a film that kind of speaks to you more than some than like I don't know.
I think we never got to meet, obviously, Stan Lee or anything like that. But the whole going to your local shop, going to the local mall, and get your comics on Wednesday, and Saturday, and getting into them and being obsessed and arguing about who could win in a fight, things like that. Every comic fan will recognise. The things that happened in that movie, like child not saving it, not having a save option on your game. Put it on pause while you went to have super happy fun with your girlfriend, and then pick up and just pick up your game from where you left off.
Super happy fun time.
I keep it clean.
Wow.
I keep it clean. That's what I call that. Super happy fun.
I call it huh?
I think that's great. It's just you're finished. I'm going to pick up the Madden again or something. Madden or nice the game. We're trying to persuade Shannon Doherty to climb out of his basement window.
Indeed. Have you seen the extended cut of Mallrats?
I don't believe so. No.
There's an extended cut. It's half an hour longer. It has the original opening in it. A lot of lines were ADR'd in the movie. They make a lot of sense when you see the original opening where the governor is almost assassinated by TS. It's weird but fun. But it is half an hour longer, and they don't actually get to the mall until about half an hour into the film. It's crazy.
Yeah, Vincent
It is
Pereira's
crazy.
character, he is coming up to deliver some papers to Michael Rooker, and then they throw him to the ground and they pull guns on him. And that's the scene we will see Vincent in. And that's, of course, cut. So a lot of people are like, oh, they don't realize that he's in that film. But I was like, I got a photo with him in my Mallrats photo op.
Yes.
I
Yes,
in that scene.
exactly, yeah.
Amazing.
It's the thing I want most as well. But he's teased so many things over the years. He's done 2 follow-ups to Eclipse, and he's been talking about the follow-ups to Mallrats. It's going to be a movie at one point. It's going to be a TV show at one point. I don't know if it's coming up itself now or if it's still being worked upon. But
there's actually a scene. There's a scene in this month's issue of, I think it's here.
Kevin Smith.
Is it here? Kevin Smith Monthly Magazine. The new issue of Quick Stops. There you go. Has a nice Mallrats cover there. Actually has a scene from Mallrats 2 screenplay that's in it. Because originally they were going to do it, but unfortunately Shannon Doherty she passed away. But they did actually read the scene. So there's a scene from Mallrats 2 in there with Brody's daughter, Banner Bruce.
Okay.
Because Brody's name was Brody Bruce. Banner Bruce. Well done. Well done, Kevin.
Yeah, very good.
I appreciate that.
Right, team. You guys gave me a row if I'd take the show further than an hour and a half, and you guys did it without me.
90 minutes.
Yeah, I'm going to hold that against you for the rest of the time now.
That's because we had a special guest. That's why.
Yeah, it's because we had a special guest. Yeah. Before we go,
if it's just the 3 of us talking 90 minutes, it's too much.
Yeah. we don't have anything to talk about. 90 minutes is too much. Okay. Before we go, Chrissy, thank you again for joining us. It's been amazing having you. If folk want to check out your work, where do we go?
You can go to my emeraldangelcomics.com website, actually.
Amazing.
And for us and wonderful people in the UK and the rest of the world, we could be able to pick up digital copies of your new comic at some point. Yeah.
Yes, and I have a low print minimum if some shops want to get their own exclusive covers. So if you have any local comic book stores that are interested in doing it, since we do print on demand, get an artist to do a cover, and we'll have that set up.
Awesome.
Andrew, what are you doing?
I was trying to add. Yeah, ignore me. I'm trying to add the Emerald Comics website, which I've got open in another browser.
Just that you're trying to put that box in your mouth there, man. That was amazing.
Yeah, no.
Oh, I thought you were doing the box in the corner thing from The Office, with on the DVD, where they try and get the box in the corner.
Well, I think.
So The Office, I thought you were doing that.
I've not had a chance. I do these things all the time when I just meet. I do it wrong. Usually, Jeff uses the word every week as well. So I'm always ready to highlight.
Amazing.
Yeah, I had your website open and I was going to try to do it. OBS.
I'll put the links in the description, the comment description, and all that sort of jazz as well. Andrew, John, anyone want to say anything else before we call it quits?
Just a quick couple of comic things I would recommend to anyone watching. I would recommend the Last Starship, Star Trek: The Last Starship.
Oh yeah.
They're bringing back Captain Kirk. They're reanimating Captain Kirk. They've got his body and they've brought him back to life. Excellent. And if you're a G.I. Joe fan, which I know you are, Chrissy, the Disavowed issue 1 just came out. And it's basically one of the guys who had the property rights for G.I. Joe back in the 90s, early 2000s, has made his own comic, and it's G.I. Joe meets the boys, basically.
Oh.
So much so that the characters are pretty much like G.I. Joe characters. We've got, instead of Cobra, we've got, what was it, Komodo. Instead of Duke, we've got other different characters as well. You know, it's Dial-Up. Instead of Duke, we've got Dane. So yeah, it's good fun. Disavowed, worth checking out.
Cool, man.
That's me. That's me.
And comically, the only thing I've been doing, because it's all here now, is watching Peacemaker season 2, which is a riot. It's absolutely brilliant.
I haven't seen Peacemaker season 1 yet.
Oh, that's great, man. A couple episodes into 2, and it's great. I have enjoyed it, but yeah, I'm a bit behind. But
I have a lot of boxes of comics that I haven't had the chance to open yet, so I'm probably just going to do an unboxing video because when I came back, a lot of my shipments came.
What's your YouTube channel? Or
It's Emerald Angel Comics and Emerald Tokyo.
amazing. Cool. Also, guys, thank you so much for joining us, everyone. Hopefully, we're going to try and get a guest on every week now. Chrissy was just excellent, and we love it. We have a guest that can just chat like amazing stuff and lead the discussion as well. So, yeah. If you tune in later in the week, we'll be able to tell you who our guest is next week and what our top 5 cool topic is. If you agree with the guys, or if you disagree with the squad, like, you know, what is the best Kevin Smith project? Did we get it right? We did because of maths, but if you think it was incorrect, let me know. But yeah, awesome, guys. See you next week.
Nobody talks about the TV show either.
What was that?
There was a clip, very short-lived TV.
Cartoon, R.I.P. Yeah.
I know the cartoon. There was a live action.
Oh, the live. Oh, don't talk about that bullshit. Ugh.
Horrible. Really, really bad.
That was right. Okay.
Come on.
Dog shit. Right, guys. Cheers. See you next week.
Bye.